Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Kelley Wolfe, the former wife of actor Scott Wolfe, has found herself at the center of a developing story that has left many people both curious and concerned. Just 10 days after stepping away from social media without explanation, Kelley missed a scheduled court hearing, and the silence surrounding her situation has only deepened. With fans noticing her absence, and the court system now registering her no-show, the details surrounding this moment raise more questions than answers. For years, Kelley was a familiar face in both entertainment and reality television circles, as well as someone who maintained a fairly open presence on social platforms. Her voice was often associated with empowerment, spiritual growth, and reflections on personal life experiences. Yet, in recent weeks, that once consistent voice has gone completely silent. Followers who used to see her share insights, thoughts, or even lighthearted updates suddenly noticed that there were no new posts, no comments, and no engagement. Silence online might not be unusual for the average person, but for someone like Kelley, who had long shared with a loyal base, it immediately caught attention. That growing curiosity quickly shifted into genuine concern when the scheduled court hearing came around and Kelley did not appear. Missing a court date is never something taken lightly. It often signals either a breakdown in communication, a change in legal strategy, or a more serious personal issue that keeps someone from fulfilling the obligation. With Kelley, this absence sparked speculation on multiple levels. Observers have wondered if the court case itself, while not widely publicized in every detail, is weighing heavily on her. Legal battles can be exhausting, and for someone already in the public eye, the emotional toll can feel magnified. The missed hearing only adds fuel to the fire for those questioning whether she is struggling behind the scenes. Some think the silence and the missed court date could be connected, that stepping away from social media might have been her way of pulling back from public judgment, criticism, or even from the stress of explaining her circumstances. Others have pointed out that her past relationship with Scott Wolfe, an actor well known for roles in television and Hallmark projects, has kept her name tied to Hollywood in ways that make her personal life more scrutinized than most. Even though the two separated years ago, public fascination with their history has remained. Any development in her life, whether professional or personal, often circles back to that connection. The Hallmark angle is particularly relevant here, since Scott Wolfe's involvement with the network is what links Kelley indirectly to that audience. When a story involving her surfaces, Hallmark viewers and entertainment media alike take notice. But what about the timing? 10 days might not sound like a long period to some, yet in the world of social media, it's an eternity when someone suddenly goes missing from their own platform. Followers often interpret silence as a signal of trouble, and with Kelley, that assumption became even stronger once the court hearing passed without her presence. This creates a narrative where her personal absence online mirrors her physical absence in court, doubling the mystery of what exactly is going on. Legal experts familiar with these types of cases note that failing to appear in court usually results in consequences. A judge might issue a bench warrant, reschedule the hearing, or enforce penalties depending on the specifics. While no one can confirm exactly what steps have been taken in Kelley's situation, the very fact that she did not attend raises serious questions about her legal standing. Those following the case closely wonder whether she is deliberately avoiding proceedings, or if there are personal issues preventing her participation. There's also a broader cultural angle to consider. In today's era, when so many rely on social media as both an outlet and a form of accountability, vanishing online at the same time as skipping court resonates with a sense of withdrawal from the public world. People are left speculating whether Kelley is retreating out of embarrassment, fear, or simply exhaustion. Those who once found her messages inspiring now wait in silence, hoping she will return with clarity or an explanation. Friends and acquaintances have reportedly expressed worry as well. While no one close to her has given a public statement, the lack of support posts or clarifying remarks suggests that either they are respecting her privacy or they, too, are uncertain of what is happening behind closed doors. In situations like this, speculation often outruns fact, but the concern is real and difficult to ignore. Adding to the intrigue is how her name has been linked with Scott Wolfe in recent coverage. Despite having moved on from their relationship years ago, stories about Kelley often highlight her connection to him. Some say this continued tie to a well-known actor creates extra pressure on her, since any misstep or absence becomes amplified by the association. Her silence on social media, paired with the missed court date, now carries not only personal weight but public scrutiny tied to her past relationship. It is also worth asking what role stress, personal well-being, or mental health might play in all of this. Kelley has openly discussed self-discovery and inner growth before, yet anyone, even those with a history of resilience, can face struggles. The timing of her silence might suggest she is overwhelmed and taking time away from both digital life and real-world obligations. Missing court, however, suggests that if this is the case, the challenges may be far deeper than simply needing a break. The story becomes even more layered when considering the Hallmark community, which thrives on wholesome storytelling, second chances, and personal growth narratives. Kelley's situation, though not directly tied to the network, has drawn attention from Hallmark fans because of the lingering connection through Scott. For audiences used to seeing uplifting arcs on screen, this real-life mystery feels far heavier. It reminds people that life outside of the screen is not scripted, and individuals face challenges that can't always be tied up neatly within 2 hours. From a legal perspective, missed hearings often trigger procedural steps. Judges tend to take attendance very seriously, and failure to appear can complicate the case further. If Kelley or her representatives do not provide an explanation, the court could issue further notices or even escalate matters. Those who have followed similar situations know that this can spiral quickly if not addressed. For Kelley, addressing the missed hearing is crucial, not only for her legal standing but for public perception as well. Meanwhile, her online absence continues to speak louder than words. Social media has become one of the fastest ways for public figures to ease speculation. A single post could quiet much of the concern, yet the fact that she has chosen not to return to Instagram, Twitter, or any platform suggests a deliberate choice. Whether that choice is to protect herself, to avoid unwanted attention, or to distance herself from ongoing legal matters remains unknown. What is certain is that her silence fuels the conversation rather than calming it. Her situation also highlights the double-edged nature of visibility. For someone who built a presence sharing personal insights, the expectation for communication is high. When that communication stops, followers feel entitled to know why. This expectation can become overwhelming, especially when combined with legal battles or personal struggles. For Kelley, stepping back may be an attempt to reclaim control, but at the same time, it creates a void that others rush to fill with speculation. It's important to note that while the missed court date and her silence appear linked in the public mind, they may or may not have a direct connection. The hearing itself might involve issues unrelated to her social media life, while her absence online could simply be coincidental timing. However, the way these events overlap makes it nearly impossible to separate them in the eyes of those following her story. The bigger question now is what comes next. Will Kelley reemerge on social media with an explanation? Will she address the missed court hearing publicly? Or will her silence continue, leaving only the legal system to push the narrative forward? Each passing day without a word makes the latter seem more likely, and that creates its own tension among followers and observers alike. What can be said with certainty is that this is not the first time someone in the public eye has chosen silence in the face of scrutiny. Some eventually return stronger, with new clarity and purpose. Others retreat indefinitely, finding peace and privacy away from constant speculation. Kelley's path remains unknown, but her recent actions suggest she is prioritizing distance over disclosure for the moment. Her story also raises the timeless question about how much of a public figure's private struggles should be known, and how much should remain behind closed doors. While court cases are, by nature, public record, personal reasons for silence often are not. The balance between respecting privacy and addressing genuine concern is delicate, and in Kelley's case, that balance is being tested right now. For now, Kelley's missed court hearing and her 10-day absence from social media serve as two pieces of a puzzle that no one has fully solved. The silence is both protective and provocative, drawing attention even as it withholds answers. Whether this chapter ends with a return, an explanation, or continued distance, it is clear that her story is unfolding in real time, and those who care about her journey will be watching closely for the next move. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.